Alrighty, hello guys, welcome your faces back to another video on my channel. Today we are back in Sprocket yet again, and today we're going to be building an artillery piece. I mean, I say an artillery piece, I don't know, it's like an SPG. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build that today. However, I haven't actually done commentary for it, so we're going to do commentary over a time-lapse of me building it afterwards. I've never really done one of these before, but let's go ahead and try it. And we'll see how it turns out. And if you guys do enjoy it, let me know. Okay, so I'm going to essentially try my best to commentate over this. But essentially, we are going to start off with the tracks because I felt like that was kind of important. Now, I did look at something in the Japanese tree on War Thunder, and the wheels are definitely inspired by that. So the flat line on the bottom is completely fine. That is sort of how I wanted it to be. But the idler wheel is something that I did actually want to be a little bit more in line with everything else. But as it turns out, it actually ends up being quite nice in the way that it sits. So yeah, that's actually pretty much it for the tracks. I did end up changing it a little bit in the bit afterwards. Anyway, we went ahead and moved straight on to building the hull. And as you guys can see, I wasn't sure how big to actually make this thing. I did want like quite a flat front end. But then I ended up making this bit on the top quite angled, to be fair. And I thought it actually looked pretty good. But, I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Okay, so from here, I needed a place for the driver to sit. And then I was trying to figure out how to actually do sponsons over the side. So I dropped the sprocket at the front and did that. And there you go. That's actually pretty neat. Yes, I angled the sides a little bit too. And then I decided we need the fenders. So I've slapped fenders on here. I wasn't sure whether to actually change these in the end. I'm not sure whether I did. But they actually fit pretty nicely under there, and they sort of work. I then added these guys to the back, add a little bit more detail. That was pretty cool. It is actually pretty cool. Anyway, the next thing is actually detailing the stuff. So I ended up putting a driver's seat on, or a driver's view. I ended up putting this little stowage box on the front. I think they actually look really cool when they're squidged down. When they're not squidged down, I feel like it's kind of hard to actually place them. But yeah, I added some little supports around the outside, some little ladders and stuff like that. And I decided to put ladders in front of the driver. Don't ask me why I did this. I actually have no idea. And to be honest, it doesn't really make that much sense. But there you go. I then added this wooden plank because I usually do, you know, I usually do. And then I added these tools, but these tools were completely useless. Because I didn't know where the turret was going, those tools do actually end up getting removed. There you go. Anyway, we're adding more ladders. You'll see that it is kind of a theme throughout this thing where we add ladders everywhere. And I actually started adding some plates everywhere too at one point. We're doing our funny little thing on the front as well with these guys. I actually really like doing these. I think it looks really good. And then I actually added the spotlights into the front end like this because I thought that actually looked pretty sick. I then added some tow hooks next to those to try and separate it out a little bit. And then I also added a place for a registration plate. I don't know why. We're then moving on to the exhaust and the vents. The new vent actually sits really nicely in the middle of there. And the exhausts, I've put it at a weird angle and made them quite chunky. But I thought that actually looked pretty good. I don't know what I do from here. Oh, I added a fuel barrel to the back. I'm not entirely sure why I did that. But I think it looks okay down there. Sort of. Kind of, maybe. This is where I get rid of the tools, and I decide to add a little light for some reason, and also a cargo hatch. Cargo hatch? Player hatch. Crew hatch. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, we're now moving on to the turret, because this thing is kind of revolving around the turret in the first place, so there you go. And we're going to go ahead and delete those things, then replace them, so that we get the right angles. We're going to try and make it a little bit bigger. I'm never really good with scales or anything like that, so this was actually a pretty difficult thing to do. But there you go. I did the big, massive hatch on the back because I knew I was going to have some really big rounds. I believe we went for 155mm guns on this, which is actually pretty large. Alright, here we go. We're doing the ladders on the side of the gun as well. And I decided that going from the top to the bottom made more sense, so I did that. I then added a bunch more toe thingamabobbies. I don't see a point in actually doing that now, but yeah, adds a little bit of detail. So there you go. I did think about adding some stowages on the top right there, but I went against it and added these guys instead. And actually, they fit really nicely, so that was a good idea. tarps, on the other hand, I did actually manage to fit on the top, and I squidged them down, pushed them down a little bit, and I think that actually ended up looking pretty good. The Commander's Cupola, I thought this might be pretty tricky to add. I don't know whether it looks good there or not. I'm not entirely sure. But honestly, I think it looks okay. So I went with that. I then added some riveted panels on the top as well, just so that you could get into the gun turret if we needed to. And that was pretty awesome. The next thing we're actually working on here is actually attempting to add a gun mantlet to this. Now, I'm not very good at adding gun mantlets. But honestly, I tried my best, and I think in the end it looks good. But I do definitely need to get better at this, because I'm really not sure how I wanted it to be. And in the end, I definitely wasn't sure whether I liked it or not, but I think I did. I think it looks okay. So, yeah, that's not too bad. I decided to add this little, like, baffle in the middle as well, because I thought that would be really cool. And I thought it was reminiscent of an SPG gun. So, there you go. And then I did some rounds, and as you guys can see at the top, we're actually running out a bunch of space. Space is definitely an issue in this tank, especially since I haven't actually messed with the engine yet and made that bigger. But there you go. I added these tank trap thingamabobbies, trench crosser thingamabobbies right there, because I like the X that it leaves. Honestly, it's quite a lot of detail, considering, and I just thought it looked pretty cool. So there you go. Gun still moves. It does actually sort of push us over, but that's okay. Added more ladders down the front end. Again, no idea why I did that. And started messing with the camouflages. I actually went with the British camouflage on this, and then we went with a Swedish flag. I don't know why I did that, but there you go. It is a custom camouflage that I made myself, and I thought it fit with the tank actually quite nicely. We then added a radio antenna to the back on one side, and then we started adding armor. Now, I think the front of the turret is actually 200mm. The side, I'm not sure what I went with, but it's quite high. And then I do actually mess around with this for quite a while, because I do need the more space. And we were struggling with space in this thing. We definitely were. There you go. We're going to go ahead and start adding more armor around the outsides as well. And that is actually looking pretty good. Pretty good. But again, armor is something that I find kind of tricky to add to stuff like this, because I generally don't know how much to add, you know? Does an SPG have that much armor? I'm not sure. Does it need that much armor in the world of Sprocket? Probably, you know? That's the thing. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. Alright guys, so now, after that time-lapse video, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into this and see what this thing can actually do on the Tiger map. Now, you guys will know from my previous experiences, if you guys have watched any of my videos, this one actually appears to be one of the hardest maps to actually do in the game. I don't know why, either. I feel like it's kind of tricky. You do get different opponents, obviously, every time. But we're going to go ahead and see what we can get up to here. There appears to be a bunch of enemies on our right, but there is also some enemies on our left, and, yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and try and shoot one. Okie dokie, that went through that guy, that's good. But I have been tracked. However, I am actually still able to sort of move. That's good. Alright, our reload time sucks. I can't really see anything in the snow. Everything is literally just white. One of my guys has died somewhere. I don't know where we died, but that's okay. We're going to wait for an enemy. And then we shoot and we miss. That's a bit of a yikes. Okay, we're going to continue. We need to figure out where the enemies are and shoot them a little bit more. So, over there is actually an enemy just chilling out, driving across. It is very bright. I actually can't see very much here. Is this map got harder by making it just really, really hard to see? I don't know. That enemy? It was an enemy. It's no longer an enemy because it's dead. But there you go. Alright, cool. So, I think there's an enemy over there. Let's try and figure this out. There is one right there. Let's go and shoot right here. There we go. It is now dead. Excellent. Alright, where are the other enemies? There is only one remaining. So far, we've only lost one tank. That's a pretty good going. That's some pretty good going right there. But yeah, this Swedish tank so far, so good. Do we see any more enemies? I don't know whether this guy right in front of me is actually dead or not. I'm going to assume He is. I'm going to assume that guy's dead. Do we see anyone else? Is he dead? Is he actually dead, though? Yeah, that guy was already dead, guys. Turns out. Turns out he was dead. Right, okay. Anyone actually managed to get up on that hill? No. Where's the last guy? Alright, we're just going to go for a little drive through the trees, then. Okay, my allied tanks do appear to be going in this direction, so we're going to go ahead and follow them in, and hopefully we can destroy whatever is out there. I'm hoping it's not just like, I don't know, a rat, you know? The P-1000's just out here, just chilling. Hopefully it's not that. But I honestly don't actually see anything just yet. Both of my allied tanks have actually just stopped. Oh, 3 of them have all stopped right there. Oh, there he is. Okay, he's just chilling out there. I've never seen a tank on this map chill out there, but there she is. There we go. It is now dead. Excellent. We did it. Alright, so, I mean, this map used to be, or was kind of challenging for me before, but, I guess in this situation, it actually was kind of easy. We only lost 1 tank, and it might have even been friendly fire. I wasn't actually paying much attention. But there she is. It is an SPG, it is Swedish, it has a British camo on it. I believe it has Japanese wheels, which is kind of interesting. It is a big mismatch of stuff, but I actually really liked it. So, yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this thing, and maybe we can build more things like it in the future. And also, let me know what you guys thought of the time-lapse, because I actually don't mind doing it like this. It's kind of cool. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.